Welcome back to the Anchor Down Podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 24. I'm your host, Ian Larrabee.
Co-host Benny Galley.
And we got a special guest today.
Dylan Vessel.
Dylan Vessel. Coming back. Dylan, you've been on here before, right? Once or twice?
He's co-hosted.
A couple times. Oh, yeah,
Filled
that's
in
right.
for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So, you're about experienced veteran nowadays. We're coming back here after kind of finally starting to get into spring.
Right.
Maybe not the weather yet.
No, the weather's still not quite there,
but we do have sports have truly started up now, I think, for springtime. We got like real practices happening this week. It's going to be the first couple of meets, scrimmages, whatever you want to call. And then it's going to kind of start getting busy here again. I'm sure the end of the third quarter ends this Friday.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
the
it
end of
does.
the third quarter. So 1 quarter left.
Yeah.
1 quarter left, baby.
3 quarters away there.
Ooh, I am excited. I cannot wait for June. Getting it started off here today. Benny, you want to talk about tennis? You want to talk about how tennis was? You guys been practicing a little bit?
Right, yeah, we were supposed to practice outside all week, but that obviously wasn't the case for weather, so we take a bus to Virginia at 7 o'clock and then kind of hit there for an hour and a half and come back. So this weekend we are going to Elk River for quad meet, something like that, but it's just like 3 matches. On Friday it's like a scrimmage type thing against Forest Lake. And then Saturday morning will be our first 2 real matches against Elk River and Andover. So I'm going to guess those teams are pretty solid. So they'd probably be hitting all year round at their indoors. So, that's kind of where we're going with that. And then the following week looks like we have Duluth Marshall on Monday or Tuesday, and then we go to Aiken later in the week. So that's kind of our schedule there.
All the way there, going to them.
Right. No, well, Marshall will come here, but Aiken we do go there. But
Let's hope Marshall can come here.
Let's
hope we don't get another snowstorm this weekend.
Right.
Sounds like we're supposed to, though.
Really? Yeah. I woke up whatever day that was from Sunday morning. I think it was Sunday morning, and I didn't realize that it was supposed to snow. And I'm like,
it was
whoa,
Sunday,
what is going on outside?
Yeah.
And that was not a pleasant
we did get a little
surprise.
bit.
Yeah. Finally, I think it's finally today. Most of it's going away, or most of it's kind of been getting away.
Yeah.
It's warm today, so.
It is. I mean, warm. It's like 35.
Warm enough.
35.
It's warming up.
Might get high 40s. But let's hope that it keeps going up there. Yeah, you guys can start having those meets. You guys, I think, first team really to get into it. Other sports, they don't start till next week a little bit.
We also kind of end on the early end, too.
Yeah, you guys do.
I know it's like meets like almost every other day once we get into it. So it gets busy, but it's fun. It kind of moves along fast, but I mean, it is what it is.
That's kind of how I think golf gets to a lot of times, or even baseball sometimes gets that way when it's, really wet or whatever, like stuff doesn't thaw out or it's still wet, where you have to postpone everything, and then you're like, that month of May is like every single day you got something going on.
Yeah.
But then, speaking of that too, baseball. Dylan, you're in baseball. You guys started up some practices.
Yeah, started up, get to throw around in the gym a little bit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Better than nothing, but,
it is.
It's never fun to throw
It's not
in the
ideal.
gym. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, we can't go on our field for even after the snow melts, because it's got on thaw, and otherwise you'll
then it's got to dry out when it does thaw.
Right,
and then,
that's it's just a long process.
That's where turf is very nice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we could be playing on our football field 2 weeks ago. I mean,
When
the snow's off the turf, it's ready. I mean,
it's
softball
dry. I think softball does get a practice out there, because you can have a softball field on a football field, but you can't put a baseball diamond out there. It's
we've practiced on Cheever a little bit, and
really,
it's just a throw. You get to at least
at least throw
stretch the arms out a bit.
Yeah, you can't really hit there; those will be in the weeds.
Right.
But
just take a little infield.
Yeah. I mean, again, gotta take what you can. It's better. It's better than a kick in the shorts. Having nothing going on. And you guys, I think what you said, you're supposed to have your first game next week, maybe?
Next week, I think it's next week, but it's at home. It's not going to happen.
Home game's definitely. That's definitely not.
Yeah.
That's like when all these guys make the schedules and they're like, yeah, we'll start outdoor events in April. Like, no, you won't.
Not the first
Not
week.
happening
Not
here.
the
It
first
just
week
won't.
of April. No.
Yeah.
That's. Winter is a nice time. It's good. The snow and like having something different than summer is nice. But boy, does the spring just absolutely
Right.
Yep.
suck. It's
Kinda like-
terrible.
Tells you like summer's here, but then it snows the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's like even I've been down. I was down in the cities on Saturday watching the state basketball, the finals, watching Cherry, and I was driving from Minneapolis at the U to Shakopee. And it's like, oh, the road construction has started.
Yeah.
There's a couple, they're like trying to replace some bridges here and there. They're doing some stuff. And I'm like, this is the time, I think maybe I was with Mateo and we were talking, Actually, no, I probably wouldn't have been yet. We were talking about road construction. And it's like, we have there's like a 4-month gap.
Yeah.
That you have to try and fit a year's worth of road construction in.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with the winter here. Some of the roads in town are atrocious. Have you been on First Ave lately? Like this north end of First Ave?
Yeah. All the heaves.
It's
or
like
whatever.
driving on a dirt road. It's so
Yeah.
terrible. Because the ground thaws and
Yeah,
freezes
yeah,
and
it'll-
heavy
When
weight
the frost
and
bleeds out and
Yeah.
then it goes back down. So yeah, it's
cracks
something.
and crumples.
But
so yeah.
they'll leave her for next year and then they'll say that. the
And
next
then they'll
year,
leave
but
it.
It's all right.
Maybe they're like the school. They also don't have any money.
Yeah.
No, I think the city last year got a lot done.
That's
I
what
think
they said. Yeah.
But they did. Like there was a few different
I
places
thought
in town
so.
where they definitely got a lot done. But I think I heard they got some good grants or stuff like that where they got
Yeah,
money to pay
that
for it.
helps.
I know they paved the road up on Pill Hill.
Finally, that was
Really?
a rough road.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was,
goodness.
It was rough there. So
Yeah.
it was well needed, I guess. But
Then they also redid in a bunch of different areas. Little area over kind of by Dairy Queen, like the highway that goes down, the little ramp
Yeah.
that comes up.
Okay.
Like that area did. Some other areas in town there, that bridge a little bit. Oh well, some good stuff though.
Yep.
Anyways, other than road construction, there's also some other sports that start up here with games or meets, events, whatever you're gonna call them. Next Tuesday, the 1st, that is going to be track and field's first meet. I think this is always kind of the same thing they do. It's at Bemidji State University.
Right.
Because Bemidji has indoor facilities.
Yeah.
So they're able to do all of their track and field events right inside. So yeah, those are kind of nice. And there's a few times they do that in the year where it's like,
Right,
it
or go
doesn't matter
down-
the weather. You're able to do
We'll
it.
go
no
down to
matter what.
UWS because I know they have a really nice
Oh,
indoor
sure enough.
field.
I,
Or,
I
Yep.
think they were there actually last Saturday.
Were they?
Or
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they had one at Superior.
They be doing, yeah, they're usually doing that. Next week also is, I think it starts next Thursday. There's some other events. Golf has their first scheduled meet.
Gotta be away.
It's versus Rock Ridge at Ridges at Sand Creek. I don't know where
I don't
that
know where
is.
that is either.
There's a possibility they play. I mean, if that's more south, it might be more south. But
Yeah,
if it's
maybe.
anywhere around here, I don't foresee that meet happening yet.
No, I don't either.
And then they have softball has their first game at ESCO next Thursday as well, of JV and varsity.
That field
and,
should probably be cleared.
And ESCO has turf there. Do they just use the football? No, they don't use their football. Do they have a separate turf field, don't they?
I'm not really
Maybe
sure.
not.
I know their football field is like cleared off. I know that.
Yeah, I
but-
mean their football field's at old turf.
Yeah, that was like one of the first ever turf fields made.
Yeah.
The last
Esco's.
turf.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those kind of the first sports here coming up that'll have hopefully a few meets will be able to actually happen, and then other than that, within the next few weeks can really start getting it in. Hopefully the weather
Yeah,
stays
hopefully
good, keeps
Don't
going
get some
up.
more snow, or I mean, if it just keeps melting, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
give it a couple weeks, people are starting to get back outside into the swing of things.
Right. Also talking here last Wednesday, I went to the there was that beanbag tournament.
Right? Yeah. How was that?
It was a good time, honestly. It was put on by the United Way of whatever, like Northeast Minnesota, I think.
Remember when we packed them buddy backpacks for hockey?
Oh,
That
sure.
was-
Yeah.
Sure.
So United Way put it on. and they put it on for like the veterans. It's like a program they have, like this veterans of raising money and whatnot for them. And there was a buttload of sponsors. So they had, what was like 28 boards set up, like 28
Really? So
different
there was a
games.
good
It
number?
was big. I mean, there was maybe probably close to 40 teams, or about 40
Oh, that's
teams.
good
So
then,
double
yeah.
that, about
That's
80
cool.
people. And Caleb and I did it. Hey, we did much better than expected. I
Okay.
went in there expecting to literally get whooped.
Yeah.
It's
We
always
went-
fun to play a little big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went 3-2 though. But they brought in, so it was actually put on too by Adolphson and Peterson
The
construction company.
yeah.
Because what are they building up here? What are they doing?
They
They're
might be doing that building by the Muni.
they're building something. I don't remember what it is. Now, of course, I forget.
That one new building by the municipal
No,
golf
It's
course.
something else, I think.
Oh.
They're doing. It was something bigger than that, but they're doing something, and so they also partially sponsored this as well, and then also Park State Bank.
Maybe the new safety building.
That's what it
Is
is.
it the new
Yes, that's
public
what it
safety
is. It's the
building?
new public safety building. Yes. So it's funded through Park State Bank, and then Adolphson and Peterson's the ones who are actually
Contracting.
doing the contract.
Yeah.
So they partially put this on with United Way. They got like this professional beanbag company that comes in.
Oh,
It's like super cool. So the company, they have like I think you just kind of hire them out and they come and run tournaments for
Right.
people.
they kind of promote the deal.
Yeah, and so then they have, like brackets and whatnot on these big TVs. Brackets are all put up, and then they
Yeah.
have like these tablets. They're just little like mini iPads that they put up, and like you keep track of your scores on there, and like
Yeah,
those
that's
tablets show who's playing where, and then the screens like show. It was really cool.
Yeah,
It was
that's
actually
neat.
like
That's
very
neat.
professionally put on. And then Boomtown catered it with some food that was decent. And then they had like some like split the pod and giveaways of different
Yeah, that's always
raffles
nice.
and auctions, stuff like that. It was super cool. It was a really good time. I don't know a real number, but if I had to guess, I'd say they definitely raised a good amount of money doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's always really good. I mean, to get something like that going on in the town when there's really nothing going on. So.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I was shocked with
obviously
how
got
busy
some
it was.
numbers, so
yeah,
yeah.
it was
People
busy.
People are looking to do something.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And some of those guys in there are like pro beanbag players.
Yeah.
So it's like they're watching some of them play. It's ridiculous. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, you,
But-
you get the guys that are there to win.
Yeah.
that,
The
that's
hustlers.
yeah. But like you said, it's nice to have something going on around town. I mean, it was kind of the middle of the day, so I don't think it was like the most ideal time for a lot of people.
Right.
But even with that, there was plenty of people there. It was a good turnout. There was a lot of companies that had sponsored a team, like Fairview sponsored a team, like
Oh.
other local businesses like sponsored
Yeah,
a
that's
team
cool.
where they had just a couple people from their work go there and do it. And so yeah, that was pretty cool to see, and it was a good time to be at.
Definitely.
And then speaking to that too, there's the Veterans Remembrance Celebration Vietnam Vets thing this Sunday? Saturday. This Saturday, which is at Memorial Building, starting about 11 o'clock a.m. So there's that going on, which I think they're just kind of honoring, commemorating Vietnam vets this weekend.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There. So again, that's definitely some important stuff going on right there. Other than that, y'all have anything else happening?
Oh, not really. Just tennis. I mean,
Tennis.
Yeah.
kind of what's just going on.
And yeah, I mean, have you been watching? Dylan, do you watch hockey, NHL? You been watching that at all?
I didn't watch them they
The
played last
Wild.
night.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they did
Before.
play last night. They
How's-
dropped.
They dropped another
They
one.
dropped 3 to Dallas, but I
Oh.
mean, you can still complain about the injuries, but I don't. They just have.
It's getting a little late in the season, though.
They don't have any secondary scoring, and
Yeah.
the goalies are always hit or miss. So it's. I mean, it is what it is.
It's tough.
It's another year of Minnesota Wild hockey. That's all it is.
I honestly, it's just Minnesota sports.
Yeah,
I mean,
that too.
for whatever reason,
I
you just
don't-
can't get
haven't-
a thing
You
going.
been up on the Wolves lately?
I have not, dude. I know they're doing so poorly, so it's not
Probably.
not even worth paying attention to it.
Timberwolves.
They had last year, man. Last year was like the only year
Yeah.
of wow, like, they've got a shot,
Yeah,
and they
man.
didn't.
I actually watched the whole playoffs. when
Oh,
they
I
made it.
watched like all of the end of regular season and all of their postseason I watched.
Yeah. Well, March Madness, you have watched any of that? Make a
No,
bracket?
I haven't this
I
year.
have not.
No?
I haven't
I
watched
have-
a single game.
I have in the past couple years. I've
Is there
watched
any
it in
perfects
bracket.
left?
No, there wasn't any
Ah.
after the first round.
Yeah, there was a few.
There's a couple, like point, like
Mm.
0.00143%.
Well, maybe then after the second, I saw some that was like, this year was a terrible year for it. Like
There was
there
like
was
a-
so many bad upsets.
Huh.
There's like
in the first
11
or
going
second.
into the second round, I think.
Really?
11 perfect.
Yeah.
When does the Frozen Four start? That the college NCAA tournament for hockey.
I'm
That's
not
gotta
sure.
be
That's
soon.
starting up here soon.
This
Let's see.
weekend.
It's something.
It's at the there's
It's at-
games at the X, I think. Right?
It's at the X
Frozen
and that,
Four's at the X.
it's at the
So I know the Frozen Face-Off.
3M
was,
Arena.
Mariucci.
Frozen 4. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Going to start the season tomorrow.
No, yeah, Twins
Oh,
are finally
Twins
up.
start up.
Twinkies. Another poverty franchise.
April 10th and 12th is what it says.
No, so that's not
that
for a
doesn't
while.
sound right. I don't know. I can't find it.
Could be.
Yeah, I have no idea, dude. I don't
Couple Minnesota teams in there though. The U State of Minnesota or Mankato.
Oh, really?
Potatoes,
Yeah, they're in that. Gophers
the
are in
Gophers
it.
good this year.
Valid.
Hopefully Boston College makes a first round exit somehow, because then the Wild
Yeah.
get Zeev Bouillon. So
Yeah, yeah.
that would be very nice. But
Yeah.
or sorry, he plays for Denver, doesn't he? One of the two, Denver, Boston College.
I couldn't tell you. I'm
I kinda
not.
forgot, but
I'm not into hockey
I
that
haven't
much.
watched
that
any,
much.
any college hockey, I suppose. So
It takes a different breed to watch college sports. I think
yeah, they're
professional and college sports. There's like two separate fan bases.
yeah,
Like you are, like I don't think it's too often that you're really into both. You're usually really into one more than the other, just because I think it takes so much. College just seems like it's so much more difficult to follow because
Yeah.
there's so many teams.
right.
and
Just-
so many divisions and so many
Yeah, so
playoffs,
many
yeah,
conferences.
yeah.
You know, so many
I could
different
agree.
games. Oh.
I generally like watching college sports better. I think I enjoy watching them more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like I don't know. There's kind of a couple things to each, but I think like with the college sports is that you just have a wider range of people. You got a wider range,
Right.
and you have some people who have zero intention of playing at the next level, but then you have some that are grinding their way to get there. And
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot.
College hockey's, I just like that better than like NHL,
Yeah.
because those guys are still fighting for a spot. I mean,
Right, you're fighting for it. You
some
have
guys
to
still
grind.
are in the NHL, but like the college hockey is just like more of like a grinder lifestyle. Like
Yeah.
you're always fighting for your life, and
in
I
every
mean,
way.
you're not getting paid millions to do it either. So that just kind of
Some
sets
people
it up.
are now.
Well,
Yeah.
some people,
Some
with
people are
NIL.
getting there,
Paid
dude.
pretty well.
Yes,
We
but
there. So
I mean, it's nothing like signing a
yeah.
7-year contract.
Right,
with
guaranteed
Wild.
$10 million a year.
Yeah.
No, the so wrestling just ended NCAA's this past weekend as well, and in wrestling, you know, there were some good matches. Minnesota did all right. Minnesota's got one kid he's from Laconia, Max, and he took third place this year as a redshirt freshman, and he will be winning it next year. I guarantee it. He's gonna win.
Yeah,
NCAA
if he's that
doubles
young,
next year. Yeah, he's so crazy. I mean, we watched him a bunch in high school. I wrestled a
Right.
couple. Drew Shea almost had to wrestle him at one
Oh,
at one tournament. I don't know if he ended up having to or not. I don't
that would have
remember.
been tough.
Yeah, it's funny though. But in wrestling is starting to get into big money.
Right.
There's this kid, Bo Bassett. He's junior, maybe. I think he's only a junior, and he's gonna go to Iowa.
Okay.
And some like large donor, like some very wealthy individual, is going to pay him $5 million to go to Iowa.
Well, that's crazy.
$5 million, and
As a kid.
that's just for that. That's not including NIL money and
Right.
like what he'll make from sponsors and other stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching the Plant brothers grow up. I mean, you watch
Yeah.
them all in high school right down the road, and then they're just killing it at college and juniors and
Yeah.
NHL draft. So yeah, it's cool.
It's nuts. It's a crazy thing to see, but yeah. College sports is definitely changing a lot with all of that.
Definitely.
Other than that, though, kind of getting in here, there's really not much else happening right now. Like we said, the end of the quarter's coming up. Dylan, make sure all your homework's turned in. You don't want to have any bad grades, and just kind of getting ready for spring to roll in. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm just ready for the year to be over. I'm ready for school
I don't think
to be
anyone's
done.
getting ready for spring. I think everyone's getting ready for summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Spring just kind of happens.
The spring.
As soon as that snow starts to melt, everyone's mind's on the,
Yeah.
on the lake. And,
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, right when that ice comes off and the snow's off, then
right.
it's everyone's like, all right, it's almost here, but
let's get
I'm
out
not
of
jumping
school.
in quite yet.
Jump
It's a little
to it.
cold.
Yeah, it's still cold out there. There really isn't much else happening here. We're just gonna kind of keep getting through this, get through the rest of these next couple of weeks till the weather does turn better, and then I think it's always a nice little slide at the end of the year. The weather's nice, you feel good, you're outside more, you get to do sports, whatever it might be. And then hopefully, probably have Dylan back on here a couple more times.
Or someone.
On here.
If you want to be on this show, reach out because we've been struggling to find guests in the last couple of weeks. So
need to find people, or you have Jace who just dips out, 30 minutes before coming on.
That's all right.
Yeah. Other than that, though, we really don't have much here. Just keep getting through these weeks. Get your schoolwork turned in, Dylan. I swear, you better have straight A's, or I'm not going to be happy. Other than that, we'll hopefully good luck to you guys at your scrimmage and your meet this weekend coming up, and good luck to the teams that play next Tuesday. And we will see you guys next week on Anchor Down.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Hibbing Public Access TV may be viewed on these platforms: hpat.org with video on demand, Mediacom Hibbing 802, 805, and 807. On Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Download the Hibbing Public Access TV app for your iPhone and Android devices. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. For more information, scan the QR code and go to hpat.org.